Well, good afternoon. Welcome to Church Hill High School, home of the Lancers, but more important for us today, this man. I am so excited to do this show because I love what you're doing.
Thank you.
This is Carson Lydon. He's 15 years old. Okay, I was 15 too, a long time ago. And so he gets in touch with me, and he found a sponsor to pay for the show today because he wants to talk with you and us about suicide. And I think that is just dang amazing that you care that much, that you would do that. And we want to thank your sponsor, who is anonymous. They don't want the attention, and that's admirable. You don't find that very often in life. So why is this? I'm gonna pass this on to some other pages. So tell people why this is so important to you.
Okay, so I'll pretty much just start with my story. So on February 14, 2017, I lost a friend to suicide. His name was Will Manstrom Greening. And really it was an emotional time for my family and I, and really the community around Marist. He was a Marist student. Yeah, he was about to graduate. And he was a really close friend of really our whole family. Our families were really close. And my brother and him were best friends since preschool, I'd say. So it really took like an emotional toll on my brother, me, and my parents, and really the whole community. So throughout that, after all that conspired with the loss of Will, I just decided that something needs to be done with suicide prevention and mental health, because it's something that's like not talked about at all.
So is it talked about much in school?
It is talked about, but it's really if someone's advocating for it, because I know that like education plans aren't there for suicide prevention right now as a school. I know people are working towards it, but
do you think that it's still one of those things? Because I feel like it's still a topic that is kind of hush-hush. People are a little bit afraid to talk about it because I think there's still people out there that think if we talk about it, kids are going to do it. Mm-hmm. Well, adults and kids are doing it, so I think we better talk about it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I think it's like a really major, stigma around suicide prevention and mental health. I think people are just scared to talk about it because it's such an awkward conversation, I'd say.
So if you're 15, can we talk about that?
Yeah.
Okay. So we've already had a conversation. So you've had two friends who've taken their life by suicide. Mm-hmm. You have a bracelet that he created for his friend, and it says on the back, "Your story will never end," which I think is pretty dang powerful for someone like that. And you've also dealt with your own struggles with depression. Can you talk to them about that?
Yeah, so after the loss of Will, I think I went through kind of a spiral effect of emotions, I'd say. So it started with just confusion and questioning of why he would do this. And then it turned to, was I a reason, or could I have stopped it, I'd say. So after that happened, I think that whole summer of 2017, it was really just like, I was just emotionally not there. I was sad, and I dealt with depression and suicidal ideation, and I just know that, I don't know, it was a big thing for me. I couldn't...
Hard time in your life.
Yeah, very hard time.
So you kind of understood what your friends were going through.
Yeah.
Do you think, because I think, what's the difference for you, Carson, between being depressed and depression?
Well, the definition for depressed and depression is completely different. Depressed is just a sadness that you'll have, and depression is a long-time sadness that you have, like completely have with you.
So you couldn't just get over it?
No, no one really gets over depression. It's kind of just there.
I think there's a lot of people who don't suffer with depression that just get depressed and think, well, the next day I feel better.
Yeah.
But I'm there with you. Mm-hmm. I have struggles with depression too, and when I was younger, I had suicidal thoughts. That's why this issue is super important to me, because I know families in our community whose children have also taken their lives, and this is we have to talk about it today in the paper. There's a statistic out that shows that Lane County's suicide rate is 50% above the national average. 50% above. I mean, that's not something you want to excel at. So we've got, I think it was 79 people killed themselves in our community last year.
This last year.
That's just in 1 year. And I know that quite a few of those were children.
Yeah, so from the statistics of 2000 and to 2016, it's been dominated by people actually older than the age of 18, so it really hasn't been adolescents. So every 27 out of 28 suicides, I believe, are by older above 18. But there's been a really big increase in teen suicides from really 2016, 17 to now. I just know it's a big, like there was a time that it was every single week there was a new teen suicide.
Here in Lane County?
Yeah. So
you were hearing about it at school?
I was hearing about it, and I had relationships with people that knew that kind of stuff.
Because I think a lot of people, like I remember when I was in the news, we didn't report on suicides, which I think is wrong, because then you don't know what's going on. And I was hearing wind of this with people, right around the time when Chloe and some of those were that happened. And I've since become friends with the family. But then there was another one just after that, and it kind of starts skyrocketing like that. So do kids in school talk about it?
I mean, from what do you mean, like an emotional standpoint, or like talking about awareness and stuff?
Both.
So like, I know that people, of course, in high school deal with suicidal ideation and depression and stuff, and I think it's something that people don't talk about because they don't want to have that thought, like, from other people saying,
like a stigma.
Yeah, just saying like, oh, you're depressed, And then from like an advocating point, I know a lot of people now are doing more with advocating for like suicide prevention and mental health, but I think before, I don't know, I don't want to say it was like I kind of started like a little wave, but before, like at my old school, I never heard anything about it, and now I'm starting to hear more.
So your dream is to kind of start a nonprofit for this.
Yeah.
About suicide prevention and talk to people. Why have you, I mean, at 15, so you guys, again, this is Carson, he's 15. He calls me and he raised the money. He went out and found a sponsor, anonymous sponsor, to pay for a show today. And then we're going to cover him on the 30th of October. September, excuse me, thank you. See, that's why you're here, man. You got to keep me in line. I'm old. So the 30th of September, it's a Sunday at 11 o'clock.
11. Yeah.
Out of the Darkness it happens every year. It's a walk at Alton Baker Park to talk about and basically raise awareness about suicide prevention. It's super cool. I've been to it for the last 2 years. We're going to go. Katie Howlert of the Stellar Home Team is going to sponsor a show that morning. We're going to go and talk to you. You have how many kids on your team?
So right now, like kids and parents and that, I have 265 signed up right now. So
yeah, be humble. So he's got 265 people right now on his team, and he's willing to take more. What do they have to do? Is there a sponsorship?
So really, you can just contact me via Facebook and Instagram, phone number, any of that, or you can go to the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention's site, and it will have you'll find like the Out of Darkness Walk link, and then you'll just look up my team name, which is A World Free of Suicide.
A World Free of Suicide is your team name.
Yes, and then it'll say join our team, and you just sign up, and then donations will be there as well.
So you guys find his Facebook page, be on his team, and then do people donate? They can donate what they want?
Yeah, you can donate. You can make your own personal fundraising page with the team, so you can sign up with the team and then like donate money, and you can have other people donate, or you can just donate to my personal one as well. There's two options for that. And
yesterday and today, there's a fundraiser at Dickie Joe's over off of Valley River Center. And tell them about that.
So I got in contact
This is your fundraiser?
Yeah.
He's 15 and he's putting together fundraisers. I love this guy. This is awesome. So
I got in contact with the Dickie Joe's West End, or
the West Brothers.
West Brothers.
Yeah.
And I emailed really, and I just told my story and how I want to raise awareness, and I really want donations, and I want companies to join together and do this. So I contacted them and he asked for dates automatically. He didn't question it at all.
Yeah, they're good
So
people.
yeah, and I gave him a date, so I decided the 19th of September and the 20th of September, and that's yesterday and today. So
So what is it
yeah.
they buy? If they buy from 11 to 9?
Yeah, it's the store hours 11 to 9, and it has to be today now, and you have to bring the flyer with you. So if you find my Facebook page or
Tell them your name again. So somebody write this in there.
Carson Lydon, or you can go
Lydon.
to my Facebook group, which is A World Free of Suicide, and then it's WMG and CT. So you can do that, and the pictures will be down there, and then you just go to Dickie Joe's and bring the flyer, and I believe 25% of all purchases go towards my donations.
Somebody said, "God bless you, Carson. You are phenomenal." WTG.
What does that mean?
I don't know what I know what the other one means, but I don't know WTG. What the good? I don't know. So why I think it's really interesting, Carson. And I know I keep harping on this, but you're going to be 16 next month, but you're still a 15-year-old kid.
Mm-hmm.
Where does that kind of heart? I mean, where does that come from?
I really think, I don't know.
Oh, way to go! It means way to go.
That's my guy, Clark. That's my old baseball coach.
Okay.
He's the man. Okay,
So why does it? I mean, you know, I have been so excited to do this because I really like who you are. I wish I could have done this at 15, and I love being able to give you a platform to go out there and do your thing. And your parents must be super proud of you. I mean, I love my kids. I mean, you know what I mean? I know I'm gushing you up here a little bit, but I mean, it must have really touched you when your friends took their lives.
So
it must have really
really,
impacted you.
So really, after Will's loss and I went through my own tough time, I'll kind of share my story of how all this conspired. Was in August of 2017, I was on the AFSP site to look for self-help tools and kind of work on myself as a person. And I came across this events or take action page. So I touched the take action page and an Out of Darkness walk came up. So I saw it and I read into it and I was like, wow, I think I should do this for my friend Will. So I created a team and I actually made it for my 15th birthday sponsor fundraiser. So all donations for my birthday, which would have been my birthday present, was to the suicide prevention.
So you gave all the money you raised for your birthday to the suicide prevention walk.
Yeah, and then I had like that be my presents last year. So I did that, and I think I made 100 shirts last year. I was only expecting like 30 or 40 people to show up, and I had 150 people. It was crazy. So I had that happen, and then 6 months later, 5.5 months later, I got in contact with this company called Youth Era, which is really like a youth empowerment company in Eugene, or all around Oregon actually. And I did this training called peer support training, which it's for 18 and above, but they let me do it now. And it's for it's kind of to help teens go through depression, suicide, bullying, abuse, kind of stuff like that. So I did that training. It was 40 hours actually. I took a whole week off of school, and I did that whole training. And then 4 days later, one of my best friend's parents' mom completed suicide as well. So after that, I'll kind of share my story and how that kind of conspired. Was I was in my Spanish class, and my Spanish teacher was really close friends with Christine. Christine was the name, and
Of the mother who...
Christine was the name. And she was really good friends with our Spanish teacher. And I walk in that day, and I had like 8 of my best friends in that class as well, so it was crazy. And you could tell something was going on, and just from that training alone, I kind of like felt, I guess, that something was going on. So the class goes on, and we did some like study group instead, and she didn't talk one bit. And I remember my phone started ringing, and it was my mom, and I wasn't supposed to answer my phone, of course. So I turned it off. I was like, okay, I can call her later. And then I kept getting texts saying like, you need to call me automatically, stuff like that. So I call her, and she tells me that Christine had died by suicide. And really, I like just felt like this big shock. I was just like, wow. And I like couldn't breathe. It was just crazy. And the thing is no one else in that class or none of my friends knew yet. So I told the teacher, I said, I need to leave. I need to go talk to someone. So I went to a coach here at Churchill, and we talked for a little bit. And, of course, I cried a little bit and talked to him about what was going on and stuff. And then I remember me walking to the office and me seeing, like, 8 of my best friends all in a room together, crying and just confused. So really after that, I just felt like this big spark, and I just knew, like, this is something I really need to do.
So what do you do for people? How important have coaches been to you? Do you need an adult? I mean, what should kids? Do you need to be looking for those kids who are just not fitting in or having a hard time? You can't really tell who's going to.
Yeah, really, like, you need to check up on everyone. Like, I make sure every day to text someone new or talk to someone new and just say, like, I love you, I care for you, you're important to me, because you never know. Because I know there's a thing that, like, some people think it's only this certain type of people or this certain kid, but really, like, it affects everyone. I know, like, there can be the popular kids, the jocks, you know, all those groups, that everyone can struggle. It's not just certain to one group.
Right, because nobody probably suspects some kid like you because you're a good student and all that, so they don't expect that. But that you struggled with it, and, you know,
Yeah.
I mean, the first time I told people in there that I struggled with depression, I think people were like, "Why are you telling people that?" And I because it's the truth.
Yeah.
And I think they think that you're immune from it. And then when you start meeting people, like when I met Chloe's parents and her family, and you see how devastating this is to folks, I don't know how you can't want to do something.
Yeah.
You know, and it is, you know, it's mental health. And I think we're so afraid. Don't you think people are so afraid to talk about mental health? Like, I mean, it's no different than
physical health. Really.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, I some
same
people
thing.
struggle with,
Yeah.
you know, bad arms, and some people struggle with this. Well, we happen to struggle with, at certain times, different mental disorder things. And I hope that people like you, especially in school like this, you can have such an impact on kids, you know?
Yeah. My whole thing is, like, what I believe is mental health is more than physical health. There's a treatment to breaking your leg or having your arm broken or a bad back. There's no treatment to losing a friend to suicide or going through depression in a non-medical pill sort of way.
Right. And people always say, well, just get over it.
Yeah.
And I think that's the people that don't understand it. Until you've been through it.
Until you've been through it, yeah.
You will say to people or not understand it. But, you know, we don't have to understand each other's stuff, do we?
No.
We just have to kind of accept it, don't you think? So how did you get like this? I mean, like a 15-year-old kid. You're like an 80-year-old man in your body, and I don't mean that as an insult. I think I'm like an 80-year-old man. I look like it today. You know what I mean? You obviously have a very kind heart.
Yeah, I think it just all goes from I lost a friend to suicide, and it really affected me, and I think just like my whole like thoughts about everything just changed.
Right.
Yeah.
So does it gets better?
Yeah, definitely.
Do you manage it?
Yeah, definitely.
Does it still come back sometimes?
Of course, yeah. There's always times that you're gonna.
How do you manage yours? I'm curious.
I don't know. I just talk to people. I play a lot of baseball. That's kind of my.
So Danny Sales and all those
No,
guys keep you in line.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
keep you going.
Yeah.
Do you ever? I talk to myself out loud. I mean, like I will.
I've never done that. No.
I will literally sit there and go, it's on the way to something that, you know, it's not that bad. Just it's gonna, you know, this too will pass. Move on. Just, you know, and this will be over in a little bit, and that works for me.
Yeah.
But I have to talk out loud to myself and do it.
Yeah.
So you guys, if you want to support, you know, we can all talk about suicide prevention, but nothing's going to happen if we just talk about it. We have to do something. And this 15-year-old kid is giving you, Carson, is giving you a way to be a part of something, to actually do something. So if you have a business or you have you're just a community member or something, you want to do something, go to his Facebook page.
Carson Lydon, or the group A World Free of Suicide.
and then like it first,
Yeah.
and then go on and it'll show them how to donate to the
Yeah, and then
cause.
you can just Facebook message me and I can figure it out. For like companies, you can give me a check and I can give you an invoice and stuff like that. So you don't need to go through online if you need to.
But
put in
come
your
out.
books and
They
stuff.
could come to the walk too.
Yeah, of course.
But be ready to be part of a party because he's invited 265 of his closest friends to also be there. So this will be on Sunday, a week from this Sunday, on the
September
30th of
30th,
September. It starts at 11. You have to register to do the walk.
Yeah, you can register, or you can go to the walk and you need to register there. So you need to sign your name, email, stuff like that.
And we'll be coming to you live because of Katie Hallert and the Stellar Home team on that morning at 10 o'clock. So I kind of encourage you to come out and do this and stuff. So thanks for doing. I mean, we all live here and we're all part of this. And you restore my hope in people. You do. I've been so excited about this since you called me. And for a 15-year-old to be that informed, I know. Everybody wants to adopt you. We all want to have a little Carson in our life, So thanks again for doing this.
Yeah.
And you guys get involved. Don't just watch and think, "Oh, what a nice boy." This is something you can do something about.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
And I don't know. I kind of just want to say, like, for anyone struggling, my Facebook Messenger and all that stuff is always open to talk. And if you ever want to share your story or want me to share more in depth of my story, you can always text me.
Why is
whatever.
that important to put that out there for people?
Because you just never know who's going through something. And it's always a good reminder to tell people.
When you were going through stuff, if somebody asked a question like that, did that mean something to you?
Yeah, it just made you feel like you're loved and stuff.
Can I ask you something else?
What's up?
Why is that important?
To feel loved?
Yeah.
I think love drives you in your whole life. So if you're feeling loved or you're happy, you're going to be a lot more successful than someone.
When you're depressed and somebody says to you, "I love you,"
Yeah.
what would that be? Define that for me.
Define it.
Adore.
Yeah. It kind of just changes you. Like, it'll make you feel a lot better mentally.
Is it almost like casting out a rod and
Yeah.
you hook something because you
Yeah.
but you got to mean it. You can't just go around to people and then if you say, "I want to sit down and talk with you and take the time," you need to do that. You can't
Yeah.
just be flippant about it.
Yeah.
And I know you're not. I mean, I can tell you're not that kind of guy. But you know what I mean? When people
Yeah.
just say, "Hey, how you doing?" and they really don't care. Don't you think we're learning that in life, that this stuff matters?
Yeah, definitely.
Relationship really
Yeah.
matters, and doesn't matter age or anything like that.
Yeah.
Because who would ever think, like if you're walking around, that a 15-year-old can make all of us older people kind of go melt? You know what I mean? Kind of melt and go, whoa. That's right, Leota. Ripples in the water. Michelle says, brilliant. Yeah. I want to meet your parents. Do you have brothers and sisters too?
Yeah, I have a brother and a sister too.
Are they going to be there too?
Yes, they will.
All right. So join Carson and me and 265 of his closest buddies on Sunday the 30th, and we'll do this. Carson, thanks again.
Thank you.
Yeah, no, you're welcome, man. Okay, I'm not leaving you. You're an awesome kid. All right, you guys, share this on your page, because here's the fact. You never know when somebody's like feeling those thoughts, and all of a sudden, what if they go on there and see this guy talking, and that changes everything? I mean, I'm not trying to be over dramatic about it, but you can really change someone's life just by posting this on your page and leaving it there, and letting somebody find it. This is how this stuff works. You now are the media. We don't have to go to the newspaper, the TV station. We are the media. So he can just hire this. We just do it, and you guys change the world. I like it. All right. We'll see you guys later. Again, Churchill High School, thank you for allowing us to use one of your classrooms. Carson, thank you. And thanks to our anonymous donor for the funding to make this happen. And thanks to Katie Hallert at Equinox, and she's with Stellar Home Team. She's going to be our sponsor, so we can see him one more time with all of his buddies and friends and family and all that kind of stuff. All right. See you later.
Sweet.
Thanks, man.
Thank you.